We got a couple people in here. How's the how's the video and audio? I think I got a pretty good connection this time. Hey, what's going on? What's happening? Brian P. Now I know, man. I couldn't believe you almost won twice. Honestly, that's nuts. But I'm gonna let everybody get in here, and I'm just gonna kind of go on a. It's not a rant, but it's gonna be. I'm just gonna kind of talk in a nutshell about something that's been. It's. I don't want to say it's bothered me, but it kind of has. So we're gonna go over the whole question there, and I'm probably gonna cut this section out, and then once I'm done saying what I got to say, I'll probably cut the end section out. I will answer some of y'all's questions and everything, but I kind of want to just say something about the whole money situation in this industry because it's a question I get asked a lot, and it's a question that it's a. I think the biggest thing that bugs me is the way people word it. Is when people say, "How much can you make doing Hotshot?" Um, did you win? Yeah, you did. You did. Gooseneck trailer to rent. Uh, there's a place. Hang on a second. Uh, there's a place in Ozark, Alabama. 1 second, because I almost when I first started, I almost rented a trailer from there. That's all just showing. All right, it's Trailer World. Ella Robbie Challenge. Um, Trailer World, Ozark, Alabama. Look them up. They do. You can buy trailers from there. They do rent to own. Then they also do like a setup to where you can just kind of rent for like 6 months or so. Check them out. Trailer World, Ozark, Alabama. That's where you can rent a gooseneck. I think you can rent big techs too. No problem, man. All right, we've got 30 people in here. 20,000 a month. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna dive into that, man. Where have you been? I've been watching your channel, man, and you have disappeared. I was wondering what happened to you. Uh, Glad to see you're still around, though. Dude, what's up, Daniel? All right, so now been running. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's hard to do videos and get busy. That's for sure. Or if you are busy, it's hard to make videos. Some people make it look easy. It's not. So, all right, let's jump into this. And now that I've got some people in here that are also doing this, we can kind of brainstorm a little bit. But I want to put the truth out about how much money can you make in Hotshot. It's there's a lot of blurred lines, and I don't like it for a couple of reasons. The biggest reason that I don't like it is because it puts a false sense of it puts a very false goal on people that don't know better. And I know a lot of people jump into this and they fail, but they don't just fail. You got to understand um, the potential for misinformation has the possibility to ruin people's lives, and not just people, families. Um, so I want to get into this. Let's just break the question down at first. How much can you? This is what I get asked this too much, really. How much can you make in Hotshot? How much can you make? How much can I make? It, I can make nothing. I can make. I've made 10,000 1 week. But how much can I make a day? How much can I make a week, a month, a year? Every single one of those numbers will be different the next one, the next day, the next week, the next month. Unless you have dedicated, guaranteed year round freight and it's exactly the same, all those numbers are going to change. They're going to change because of weather breakdowns. They're going to change because of cancellations. They're going to change all the time. There's no real way. And you could say, well, what's a basic average? A basic average is a humongous span. I mean, I've had weeks fall apart to where I've worked a whole week and I've only made the gross 3,000. But what I make in a week or a month or a day isn't going to be what you make. It's not going to be what anyone else makes because all of my expenses, no one else has exactly the exact same expenses as I have. And I'm not just talking about business, personal expenses. The biggest thing is how you manage your money. It's your life. Um, does does your lifestyle allow you to do this? Does it allow you to succeed in this? One of the things that I'll tell you right now is that you'll never see me post that I make a quarter million to $500,000 a year. You will also not ever see me post that I need an investor to grow my company. None of those are going to happen. I make enough to do this. I make enough for this to be worth doing. So let that tell you what it tells you. How much do I bank? Um, it depends. It's always different. It's such a hard question to answer. And what I make is not what you will make. We could make the exact same gross in 1 week, and what we make won't be the same. You you have to if you're coming into this or you're wanting to get into this, you have to break down your life financially. And then you have to add, and it helps to do like worst case scenarios. What's the biggest expenses? What's a high dollar week going to be? And you have to factor for that because bad weeks and days and even months are going to happen. They will happen. You can try all you want. More of this industry is out of your control than is actually in your control. um I think that it's been led to believe that that's not true. But it is. You don't call the shots, not all of them. And it's really frustrating to see people make it look like that's how it is. So how much money can you make? That's up to you to a certain point. Okay. So you have to have your life together. That's number one. You cannot start this to dig out of a hole. You will sink. You can make enough money doing this to do well, and you can make enough money in this to go under. That's absolutely the truth right there. A lot of it is up to you. Not all of it is up to you. So you have to weigh averages, and in order to do that, hey, what's up, KB? In order to do that, um, you have to know that there are going to be times where things just aren't going to work like you want them to work. You can't come into this on a shoestring budget. Not at all. You have to come into this prepared. This is a business. This isn't a game. I don't sit here behind the steering wheel and money just falls in my lap. And there's some people out there that will make it seem like that's how this is, and it's not how it is. There's a lot of things that none of these channels will show you because it's humiliating, it's frustrating. There's more of those times than there are just all the smiles and this is all what happened. I mean, when you watch a 5-minute YouTube video, you're only catching 5 minutes, and that is the most. I mean, it's all edited. I mean, it's not even half of it's not even real time. So it's like that's the best of that day, unless it's showing something catastrophic or whatever. But and there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that's not even worth saying that it's not even worth putting on here because it's boring. Back paperwork, filing invoices, and all that stuff. And I know some people have actually asked to see that. Um, there's a lot of numbers and addresses and names and stuff like that that just can't really be put out on, out to the public. So there's really bad, uh, and yeah, like that exactly. Fine. There's a lot of things in this that that determine how much you can make. So that's really what I wanted to get out there is that this isn't I mean, I've said it before, it's not a get rich quick uh solution. It's not a solution for for financial problems. And it's not, you're not in an RV guy. It's not, this isn't a scenic journey. I mean, you could try to turn it into that, but I mean, all you're going to do is drive by all the stuff. um this is a business. It has to be treated as a business, but it is very, very, very volatile, and it changes every single day, every day. So how much can you make in Hotshot? That is almost an impossible question to answer, honestly. You can make enough to keep going. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I'm not sitting here getting rich. I mean, I'm making great money. I'm making more money than I could at home, working a job that would, have me home every night. Um, is providing for everything I needed to provide for, and I'm able to, um, save a little bit on the side. But there are certain things. It's like, it's like Anthony just said, fuel and insurance. Is the this industry is getting a lot more expensive, and the pay is kind of flatlined over the last 20 years, honestly. So it's just like, I wanted to say this to get it out that it's not as easy as some make it look. And what you do see is cream of the crop, you know, fixed, edited, scripted information. And, no, a lot of people have a lot of pride. A lot of people, it's almost nobody wants to show failure. But this isn't this isn't a way to get out of a financial hardship. This is a good way to get into it. I'll be honest with you. And it's not that part is on you, because it's really easy to give up, and it's easy to get lazy. It's easy to get complacent, and sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. You have to go to areas you don't want to do. You got to stay away from the house longer than you would like. You have to miss certain things. Like birth. You don't have to, but there will be conflict there, and that is really what I wanted to get that off my chest. That this is not easy money, and it is not. Um, it's not a ton of money. I mean, you can gross a ton. Yeah. I mean, I wish I got to keep everything that I gross. I'd be doing great. But you don't, and even sometimes with the stuff that you do get to keep, you know, there are situations that take that from you too. Like when, Dave got the violation with the scales and all that, or that rope where he was overweight. You can't account for that. You don't know that that's going to happen in breakdowns. You have to have you have to be good with money. And I'm honestly not great with money. I'm not great with money. But I'm very realistic, and that you have to be. So it's not going to fall in your lap. You're going to have to get out here and work for it. And sometimes it's not even enough to make, how hard you had to work. Sometimes it's not worth that. But it comes down to averages, and even those averages, I can't even hit what I can gross. Like what I grossed last week isn't what I'm going to gross this week, and what I gross this week, it's always going to change. I can try, to make the same amount of money, but it's just not going to happen. I may make less, I may make more, but it's enough to keep doing this, and that's what I wanted to get at. So now, okay, we'll cut that off, and now we'll go into the questions here. How's the weather? Yeah, funny you should ask. If I could work a day and not get rained on, in the last 2 weeks, I'd be so happy, but I'm not because it won't stop raining. So that's what I wanted to say, guys. There's been I've gotten asked that a ton, and I think it may just be the way it's phrased. How much can you make? I don't know. This maybe I'm too literal when I read stuff or get asked questions, but that kind of bugs me. And like I said, there's a lot of blurred lines and instances on YouTube as a whole about this industry. And I just wanted to put that out there that it's not all fun and games, and it's definitely not like hitting the jackpot to come do this. That's for sure. Um, what happened to the rates? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's like I said. It's like I mean, I heard that $2 a mile was the goal to hit in 1990 from people I've talked to. Think about how much fuel and insurance and everything else has gone up since then, and people that we can't even factor death anymore. I mean, you can't even you don't get a credit for that. As far as the as taxes go, that's just money down the drain right there. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, I'm sure they would. I know they got tired of paying other people to ship their stuff, so you saw what they did with that. That happened fast with all the Sprinter vans, and then you go to the airport and they've got their own jets. It's like, when did that even happen? Yeah, right next to UPS too. Waterproof gloves. Yeah. Go to Cali. I don't know if I could afford to live or be in Cali. Fuel's too high. It's hard to get out too. Would I ever go back to what, a big Terry? Go back to a big truck? I don't know. I don't really want to, honestly. I think if I went anywhere else besides, I think my next step would be getting out from behind the wheel, honestly. I've got a son that's going to start uh, needing me to be there more. So, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I had a terrible start to this week. I had a car that was supposed to, it was assigned to me. I said I'd be there to pick it up Monday. They're like, yeah, that's fine. I get there, and these guys, it, I call and finally get a hold of somebody, and then they tell me that they don't even release cars on Mondays and Fridays. It's only Tuesday, so it's like you'll have to wait till tomorrow. It's like, yeah, I'll be on the other side of the state tomorrow. But it's just stuff like that. Everything falls, and then I called on a couple of loads, and they're like, oh, well, it won't be ready to ship Wednesday. It's like, why is it posted for today then? It's like I couldn't win. It was so stupid. But I got everything together, I'm going in a totally different direction than I thought I'd be going when I left the house. And that happens. You just readjust. Am I making as much? No, because I really lost like half a day dealing with all that. But it's just what you do. It's just what you do. And that all it affects the money. It just wastes my time, really. Because I mean, if I were we're not on hourly schedules. I mean, it's when this truck stops and you get out of it, you stop getting paid. And when people are just sitting there wasting your time, it's oh, it's so fun, especially when they don't care. And then they let you know that they don't care. Great. Thanks. Yeah, busted knuckle. Yeah. I had to I don't know. I had to get it off my chest, man. I'm just tired of the fairy tale of this crap. Because like I said, I mean, people's lives get destroyed from them jumping into this, and man, are they surprised, I'm sure. If these starts in a week, should you use a dispatcher? Yeah. I'm not against using a dispatch service, especially right off the bat, because they're going to be able to do a little more than you are right away. But um, you're not going to really know if you're getting a good deal or not because you don't know what to expect because you don't really see the loads yourself. You kind of got to take their word for it. You have to read the question mark, a load for the late show. I don't know what that means, man. I don't care, man. I don't care. He makes enough to get over it. Have to read the. Hey, Michael, I don't know what you're trying to say, but yeah. Oh yeah. If you carried a camera, you'd have no video after censoring it. Yeah. There's a lot that I have to get rid of. Most of it I have to get of. What's up, Robert? Horses you call and they have no clue about the car. Yeah. I actually have a truck on here that shouldn't be what it is. Um, I'm lucky that I made weight. It started off as a Ram 2500, right? I asked if it was a dually. No, it's single rear drive. It's a 3500. It's a dually. It has a work body on it and a 1,200-pound welder attached to the back of it. Made me super happy. That was awesome. I actually just had to redo my whole. I had to take two cars off here and move stuff around because I was 3,000, almost 3,000 pounds overweight on my drive on the truck axle. So I'm all good now, but man, it's heavy. My girl's 35,000 right now. Read the questions out loud for people watching later. I think I'm probably gonna cut this part out. Honestly, I'll just make the video about my little spiel about money. Any recommendations on insurance? Go through a broker in your state. 6 hours for IRP and IFTA. She said they're not going to be done tomorrow. Like, yeah, dude. When I was getting my IRP, it was April. So imagine that. Everybody working from home, working from home. That was great. That took almost a month. What insurance company do I use? I have Progressive right now. It's underwritten by United Casualty something. Maximum monthly expenses outside of fuel to stay profitable. Monthly expenses? Uh, mine on average are about 4K. Oh, well, that's counting fuel. That's just operating expenses, though. That's not my life. That's not that's not my all my bills. That's just the company's bills. To be honest with you, so about 4K counting fuel, and that's running. It's a 3 hour drive. Sucks. How's the rear end doing in the truck? I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know. It's still, I don't care because it's not mine. So if they want it back broken because they won't fix it, then that's how they'll get it. I just hope it don't break on me. I know I'd be pretty upset if this were my truck though. Pretty upset with Ford to take 5 days to tell me that the diff fluid was low. I know that it leaked out. So why did that happen? They don't know or don't care. I don't know. Profitable. Hope the equipment stays together. Yeah. He's changing insurance. My guy can't get me. Oh man, really? Yeah, that's a big one, man. Um, that company that I posted the insurance video about, I can do my own certs, and it's usually emailed in to them before I can even finish the packet. It's pretty sweet. It's almost instant. Is 8250 enough rear? Oh, mm, probably for a two it is. For a three, I don't I don't know, man. That's you definitely have to have something real light up there. Yeah, progressive, man. You can. I There's been a couple of times where I've just called them myself because I couldn't get a hold of anybody or it was taking longer than I wanted it to. Progressives actually they're pretty quick on the phone. You can get anything done, and it doesn't undercut your agent or anything like that. So I already asked about that. Keep track of all that. You know what? I actually just had to start doing that because I have not factored one single load on these cars, and there are some places that take 5 up to 20 days to pay, and um, I've started to keep a file of paid and outstanding invoices for the week because a lot of these loads, I have zero. I have 3 cars on the back of my truck. I have no pieces of paper for them. It's all on the phone. These are all electronic dispatches now, so it's pretty sweet. But I do print out the dispatch sheet and I keep it in a folder. If they haven't paid yet, I keep it in a folder of outstanding, and I check up on that every weekend. So that's a good. That was that was good pointing that out. Airtable is really good. I don't have time to mess with Airtable. That's a that's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Don't deliver for J&J Transport. I've got a couple on my list already that I won't do business with again. 450, 550. I think a 550 because of the weight and the gearing and just the overall. I think it's overkill for 3 or 4 car, and I don't think it's enough for 5 plus. I think the 550 for like over the road, I think it's geared way too low um, to be, as profitable as it could be. Uh, oh man, that sucks. Would you have a they have a claim on it or something? What happened, AC? What printer do you carry with you in your pickup truck? Actually, this was given to me. I don't know if any of y'all remember Josh D, but yeah, he actually just gave this printer to me one day. He's like, you can have it. It's like, okay. Sweet. It is a I'll let it boot up. It's like a $600 printer though. I wouldn't I wouldn't buy it if I had to. It's fast. It'll print paper off pretty quick. Yeah, 550s are yeah, I just don't think that they're good over the road trucks, honestly. I mean, I'm sure the gearing could be changed and all that. Um, but just off the shelf, I just don't think that I don't think you need that. It might be more comfortable in one. I just I don't know. I think it's overkill for the smaller trailers, and I don't think it's enough for the bigger ones, honestly. I think if you need a 550, you might as well just start going to like a single axle semi. When's the slow month and busy months? For freight, I know because I've done it for so long that freight usually starts dropping now. it it usually drops at about mid-November or so, the beginning of November. You can usually start to see a lull in freight in November, and it usually lasts until about March, April. So you got a pretty good dip throughout the end of the year and the beginning of the year. Now with cars, I've heard and I've asked a lot that it usually stays kind of like a flat line all year. I don't know what this year is going to do to that, but I'm very interested in seeing how that works this winter. That's why I'm going to keep my flatbed probably throughout the winter, just in case. I want to see how the cars perform when I know freight is hurting. So I'm not breaking down as much. Yeah. We get a shot after the first of the year on the fence about I just don't see if you don't have anything lined up, it's going to be very hard for you to find uh, enough. Usually, I always ran out of weight before I ran out of length on the trailer. So, if I only had 26K gross to work with, it'd have been pretty tough because I was over it more than 50% of the time, I would say. So I'd go CDL. What state? I'm in Kentucky. I'm in between Louisville and Lexington. Slowing out through February. Yep. Yeah, I agree, Robert. And I was actually, I was kind of checking some trucks out, and I think I would go 450. It doesn't really offer that much more gross on your rear, but I think it's just a more stable vehicle for all this. I think the 350s are just, I think they're right on the brink of it being too much. I mean, I don't know though. I haven't driven a 450, so I wouldn't know how that feels. Any way to look at load boards without subscribing? Unfortunately, no, unless you have someone that will give you their username and password. The good thing about those are though is that typically they'll give you like a 30-day free trial. So you might want to check into those. I think Truck Stop does that. I know Central does that. You have to have a wedge to haul cars. No, nope. There's a lot of 2-car haulers. You have to have a wedge. I mean, I think there's people that have kind of gotten like a step deck style. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to have a bed on the trailer in order to do that. But typically for three cars usually starts with a wedge, so you'd only be hauling 2 on a flat. Auctions are shut down. Okay, that's good to know. I'll see that. But I know that the sales pick up after Christmas, so we'll see what happens. That's of course that's probably new cars, but I'm interested to see what that looks like. Go not CDL. What's your issue? Yeah, yeah. I usually ran out of weight before I did deck space. Yeah, Robert, that's actually pretty funny because I was when I was following Busted Knuckle into the we had to make a U at a light and he made the U with his trailer. I had my trailer, I made the U and I ate that curb so hard. I ate it. I mean bad. And I couldn't believe it. Like that the turning radius is unreal. Like I mean that day I was just gonna do the same thing he did. I mean I thought I was gonna make it. I used kind of the same track he did, and I saw I was not turning, not turning. I knew I was gonna eat that curb. That's a really good point too that I actually had forgotten all about. Yeah, the 450s, man, they'll make this thing look stupid, and they did. Well, it made me look stupid. 450s were sweet with that turning radius. Who's at my back seat? That's my jacket. You can see loads, but no real information. They usually can't. That's the thing about load boards. You usually don't get any info until you book the load, and then you find out where it's coming from, where it's going. That kind of sucks. I mean, I know why they do it, but it still kind of sucks because it's almost a surprise until you're already committed now. What I think about Diamond C, 25, 12K an air ride, that sounds good to me, man. I wouldn't want another trailer without air ride if I was doing freight. This thing is so much smoother than that PJ. Man, that thing is heavy. I don't know why, but I mean, that thing tugs on me hard. Two car can be profitable if you live around a whole bunch of auctions. Yes, yes, especially if you do in ops. Man, that was what I was talking about. If I lived around a bunch of auctions, like in a big city, where they've got multiple auctions, I would run nothing but in ops on a roll off with a dolly. And I saw two today, and it literally, I mean, they could put two cars on that, and then they have a front tire dolly in the back where they can haul three cars, just like I do, and they're going nowhere, but they're hauling the in-ops, and the in-ops pay good. But I mean, that's most of them are towing companies that run those out of all those like Coparts and stuff like that. It's pretty sweet, and I know they make good money because I see them on the boards. I'll check that out, Luis. Semi truck turn radius, yeah, yeah, me too. I still swing super wide. Use all the real estate. You can't go wrong doing that, man. Sun Country, yeah, that's right, Hotshot Dave. I don't think they make less than four, do they though? I think they start at $4 or 4 car trailer. I am in I'm on 71 between Louisville and Lexington, or Louisville and Cincinnati, and it's the double pilots here. I think it's is it LaGrange or something like that? They do make a three. All right. I think it's a short three. It's all hydraulic though, right? It's like a 2 car bottom with one hydraulic. Pendleton, yeah, that sounds right. I think that's actually what came up. Yeah. On cars now. What happened to PJ? PJ's at the house. PJ's hanging out. I had to dive full into this. Low profile, no bed. That man, that's. I wish I didn't have a bed now. Low profiles aren't these wedges are top heavy. I don't think it matters if you've got gooseneck or fifth wheel, man. This thing moves around a lot. Car trailer I have, how long can you be? 65 foot. And I'll be honest with you guys, there's a lot of guys that pull this. I'm 65.6. So if I get popped for that, whatever. Um, I just think I don't think they really mess with that. I've never been taped. Actually, I've been taped once, and that was for bridge law in Florida. I think a lot of guys with these 3 car wedges, I just don't. I don't think that they make them to where you can really be under 65. But I mean, it's not like I'm 70 foot long or anything like that. As long as you just don't have any overhang, I think you'll be okay. How about around Charlotte? Yeah, there's plenty of options around Charlotte. Multiple partners starting into this, would it be advisable to get the broker's license as well to maximize the revenue? A broker's license starting out is just like trucks starting out. You have no direct businesses to deal with. You have to earn those. You got to think if you're a new brokerage, I mean, look at all the loads that are coming out. Um, they're already that they already have everybody they need. It's the same thing with trucks. It's hard to get an account as a truck as a carrier because everybody's already got their stuff being shipped. You're just one more. You have to work yourself into places, and that takes time. So I don't think that having a brokerage it sounds good, but I watched somebody buy a brokerage for that very reason, and never, they never got off the ground. The rates they were able to get were so low, it wasn't. I mean, they were terrible before they even took their cut. What trailer you need for cars? Live in New York City, lots of auctions. I don't. I mean, I'm not sure if I lived in, I would do the research on it. Number one, but I mean, I think you could get away with a two car. Honestly, just a two car. I ever hauled in New York City? No, but I did live in Brooklyn for a while. Didn't like it. Had to get back to the country, man. That wasn't for me. I went to school there. Get close to max payload with some vehicles at the front. Yeah, this I'm closer than I want to be with this BMW. That thing is nuts. I didn't know. I fell out of the car scene for a little while. I used to know all my cars, but I didn't know this X6 was number one as heavy as it was, but number two is expensive. Is that told me it's $132,000 car and it's 617 horsepower. You get when I started this thing up, I was like, "What is this? Are you serious? This thing is nice, sick car." Stack tight turns, yeah, yeah. You're gonna want something short, short base for New York. But you have to look for so many other things in New York, like the parkways. You can't drive on any of the parkways. It's illegal for trucks to be on parkways, and basically the only option to go between boroughs is just it's an X6M, is to just sit on the BQE for all day because I've every time when I used to drive to work, that's all it was. I would go under it, of course. I was going through the streets, in just a car, but it just looked like the BQE was just a picture all the time. It's nothing ever moved on it. It was like a photograph. Just stuff sitting on it all day. Sucked. Let's see. Brooklyn smells weird. Yeah. Yeah, the Bronx was terrible. Where they had the fish market down there in the South Bronx. That was bad. Yeah, that's what somebody asked me the other day. I don't see it financially. I mean, the loads look like they're good. Well, to go in the city, they'll talk about how they'll just offer you, like you'll make so much more money if you get extra so many dollars to go into. You don't understand if you're going into New York City and then coming right back out. Start adding those tolls up. The George Washington Bridge is like, I don't even know what the toll is because it changes all the time. But and I haven't been there in a hot shot. I haven't been there since I was a semi. But last time I was a semi, it was like 100. I think 117. It was right under $120 to go across a bridge one way. Yeah, they can have that. They can have that, man. 135 for six now. Awesome. Yeah, they can keep that day. They ain't gonna get it from me, man. I don't even have a hut sticker because that Pennsylvania is my border. I think they changed all the names of those bridges. It used to be the Verrazano and that that I think they named one bridge after the governor's family member or something like that. I don't know. I don't even care anymore. The Northeast isn't my territory. I can make plenty of money uh, down here in the Midwest where I belong. Oh, he named it after himself. That's awesome. It doesn't surprise me at all. 3,500 truck sticker for 3,540. Uh, no, this I think I'm not sure. I'm renting this from Enterprise, but yeah, I think typically they're about like mid 50s. Those kill you. Yeah. And same thing around cutting the bottom of PA. That's not cheap from like Philly, to Ohio. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but they changed the Tappan Zee tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why everybody got to change everything. Mario's his dad. Yeah. Looking at a 2020 Ram, get more details on that particular what a 2020 Ram or my truck. I've got a Ford. I mean, I would go talk to the dealership honestly. I'm in the recommended for what? Yeah, 102 people watching me. That's nuts. Extend the front ramps to fix 4 cars. Yeah, this has the flippers on the front. I took them off the back. I actually got that dually on here today. Had some people tell me I couldn't load a dually, and today I basically just said, "Watch my impact." The bed got that dually on here though. Tell me I can't make money. Oh, it's not easy. It don't just fall in your lap. You got to get creative. But yeah, this dually's on my trailer. Got big rigs and crazy how Hotshot big rigs are totally different. It seems like, yeah, I tell you what, when I first started driving this, I was way uncomfortable. I didn't like it at all. I was way more comfortable in a semi. Wide open traffic. Yeah, I love driving out west. It's just so hard to get back home. I love it though. I'll go out there in the winter. I don't care. Fun fact about me: I'm from the South, and I hate sweet tea. Hate it. Tastes awful. Tastes like syrup. So see if I can lose some subs over that. What made me do hot shot over tractor trailer? Um, the expense, the overhead of it all, and the fact that I could gross about the same. I could actually gross the same, but I would end up actually making more because I'm not spending it on the truck. That's what made me switch. Is that I saw, and it wasn't just like a theory. I knew people that were doing it, and I picked their brain for a really long time. I've looked into hot shot for about 3 years before I actually did it. So this isn't just a quick thing. It's I was trying to talk about at the very beginning. Um, there's a lot of stuff that sounds good, and I'm the type of person that I have to see things with my hands. I've got to actually do it. I can't take somebody's word for it. I can't read about it. I have to do it to know. So that's just me, but I don't think that it's bad practice. I mean, can that mess you up? Yeah, but you find out. You find out. And it's so different for everything else. It's like go back to the money part. How much can you make? Where do you live? This industry is super particular based on your geography, because where you live may not be where you operate, and you want those to be as close as possible because you're going to go to both places. How often you get to go to one or the other is going to depend on how far away they are, though. So it's ideal to find what is around you, whether that be flat flatbed. If there's a ton of reefer stuff around me, I just don't feel like buying a truck and a reefer trailer. And that goes back to money too. Reefers don't just it's not just a trailer you drag around. I mean, there's a diesel engine on the front of it. It's more maintenance, more upkeep. And, it pays more most of the time. Sometimes flatbed outperforms reefer on average, but there's just there's so much to it. It's the hardest question to answer, is how much money can you make? It's, what time is it? Basically, That's what dictates that right now. I actually applied for Walmart a few years ago when I think I had like 8 years experience, and they never called me. So I wouldn't have minded that, honestly. I pulled out of a Walmart DC for a while. I did haul reefer for a while out of the DCs, which is pretty sweet because you get to kick in if the docks are full when you show up at Walmart, somebody has to move because you've actually they have to move for Walmart trucks. Kind of nice. Texas real dry. Yeah, I saw it's in Ratman's video too that it was snowing there too in West Texas. Louisiana, you have to have a locked in yeah, or you have to just go. Louisiana is such a strange state. It's almost just like a pathway between the southeast and Texas. It's like that. Not a ton goes to Louisiana, and not a lot comes out of Louisiana unless you go up to Pineville and stuff. And that's I don't know. I know you can make some pretty good money hauling pallets in Louisiana, but it's northern Louisiana. Car laws are yeah. My shop would be a good gig. You still got to have the same laws, man. You still got to have the same stuff, even in a hotshot truck, Jake. Any state seems like a slaughterhouse for hot shots. That's Tennessee. Man, they tore me up. I got pulled over twice within an hour. Pulled over twice. Underloaded cow hauler. Oh, damn. Yeah, that'd be funny. Cheaper though. Yeah, yeah, definitely cheaper. But yeah, you still got all the hoops to jump through. They're not going to let hot shot out of all that. They make too much money off trucks. They have to give everything away, right? What I gross on average in a semi, on average, uh, I'd say on average at the beginning of this year, I was grossing anywhere between 5 and 7, but I was staying out 7 days a week. So I was generally hitting that $1,000 a day mark in the semi. That was all off the load board, all off boards. Yeah, getting into Florida is easy. Getting out, not so easy. Do real well with coat. Yeah, you're hauling yeah, you got the boats locked down, Robert. Don't lie to everybody. You're in like primo territory for hauling those boats, man. If I lived down there, I'd look into that for sure. There's something new viewer. Thumbs up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Triple digit state troopers. Yeah. I had a truck blow by. I mean, that dude had to have been doing 85. I had the cruise set on 70. I mean, the truck actually like it made wind noise going by me. There's a day cab with a drive in. I couldn't believe that dude was flying like that. Right through Lexington. Like just didn't even care. Left lane too. Just it's like I'm afraid to do like two over, Just feel like I get tore up over that. And you see the stupid stuff out here all day long. Speeding is one of the things I can't stand though. You just want to run south and mid south. You're with about 90% of everybody else, man. Especially in the winter. It gets. I'll tell you what, Georgia is a very rough state to hotshot in because it is so overpopulated with hotshot trucks that as soon as that freight hits the board, a good load, it disappears. Off to Arkansas. All right, have a good one, big dog. I'm actually headed to Kansas City, so I was working. I've worked for myself in a semi two separate times. One I was leased onto a company through a lease purchase. Won't do that again. Actually, got a that helped cause my first and only ever bankruptcy. It was pretty cool. Yeah, construction zones. Yeah, don't you love it? Had a ran from Enterprise, just the Ford. I've only had this. No, I've had two. I've had two Fords from Enterprise. I haven't had the Ram. I would like to get a Ram just so I could experience the difference. But I think I really do like this 10 speed because I get pretty good fuel mileage. Oh, another thing I did notice, my fuel mileage has dropped from steady 10 to 11s hauling freight to it's I basically roll 9 now, 9.5 maybe tops because everything is above the truck. So there's something to consider if you're thinking between the two. Worst fuel mileage with cars. I wish I had a low pro trailer. Step Boys running strong in Georgia. Yeah, it's hard on Hotshot, man. What I know about California Hotshot, haven't been to that state in a Hotshot truck. Yeah, one second. Damn, dry in here. Is Enterprise really worth it? I'm gonna hold my tongue on that one right now. Uh, I think if you're piling on the miles, like 3,000 or more a week, yeah, I do. I think if you found a way to do about 2,000 or less, I'm not really sure it's worth it. Yeah, 55 through Cali, that's a killer, man. Especially north south or south north. All right, guys. Well, I'll cut it off there. Just wanted to talk about that. Can you hot shot with a deleted truck? Um, until you get inspected, I guess. Yeah, with emissions, I wouldn't recommend it. I would jump out here. Like I said, I'll edit this video down and make it to where it was just really me talking about the money. But I didn't want to just kind of, fly off and not answer some questions for you guys like I usually do. So I'm gonna get out of here, go to sleep, and wake up and see. I'll take off at 4 in the morning, or no, 3 in the morning. I forgot I'm an hour ahead over here. So yeah, 3 in the morning, and be rolling into KC tomorrow afternoon. So all right, it's good talking to you guys. And like I said, I'll kind of trim this video and get it to the guts and post that up as soon as it'll let me. So you guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time.